Welcome to your magic moon message. This is the peace dealer, and I would like to co-welcome you to, I think, one of the most iconic transits we could ever possibly have. It's a lot of concepts I want to share with you, and congratulations in advance, okay? So the moon is in Libra. It's going to transit over the south node, and this will give you an understanding of how fucked other people are who, if in any way, like, dismissed your value and worth. Because it's one thing to be in denial, it's another thing to have it pop up in your face everywhere you go to where you can't deny it. And that's really how your value is going to be haunting others who felt like they never had to acknowledge it, but then still have to engage with you. And this is without having to argue with people. This is without having to yell at people, fight people. This is just standing in your worth. Because, when you know your worth, insert whatever positive saying you feel follows that. Infinity gang. All right. With that being said, y'all, the moon in Libra is transiting over the south node while Mars is exactly conjunct the north node. That is, I think, the most iconic, powerful facet of today and tomorrow. Mars is exactly on the north node in Aries. Venus is exactly on Uranus, okay? And the sun is exactly on Jupiter. We're here. Some will say this is the luckiest day of the year. And I mean, there is a precedent for it where we are passing go and collecting 200 million. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to chapter 2 of your evolution cycle. Okay, we are officially opening up the book. And let's first of all clap for ourselves. Clap for yourself. Pat your hand on the back. Okay, pat your back or whatever you want to say. We just completed chapter 1. And to preface this, 2011 was the last time we opened up this 12 chapter book. There are many different ways you can time this book. We can do 2.5 year chapters with Saturn for like a 12 chapter book. As far as that, 30 years. And it doesn't even have to be 12 chapters. I'm just going to use Jupiter as a timer because Jupiter travels once a year through the zodiac, and that takes 12 years. It takes once a year to go through a sign. One thing you're going to feel with this next chapter is the consequence and shift of energy culturally that has recently shifted amidst everything that's happening and how you stand or play into that. Okay. The same mannerisms and insecurity that others relied on to just spew whatever projection on you is going to be at a much more exaggerated level felt, in the sense that it doesn't stick on you and that it doesn't apply to you. And this at a very deep level is going to shake those who don't have the security within. Everything about Taurus is self-worth and security. That's why transits like this or seasons like this can really meddle on those who don't really have any confidence within themselves. Insecure people need someone to feel better than, and the illusion of pride, and of course making up reasons and rhetoric to feel like you're better than someone will always poison someone's mental. So you are always going to be a threat to these people who, those manipulative tactics don't work on, and it will never be more evident than this entire chapter. This is not more than just a counterattack. It is a complete devastation of those who felt they had any leverage over you when they never did. It's one thing to believe you were better than someone. It's another thing to realize you never were ever in your life, okay? And people are about to make that realization with you versus people who've invested in you and they're about to realize with you they hit the fucking jackpot, all right? Platonically, romantically, business, however you want to look at this. So allow idiots and stupid, weak little bitches to play their hand. The level of value and worth you're stepping forward with is in a sense where your energy speaks for itself. It's an axiom. Anybody that's speaking bad on you because you have proved you are in integrity is snitching on themselves to say they're not good people. And this is how it will be proved, by you not having to say a word and their words and actions come back to bite them because you put in the work to maintain integrity. That's simple. All right, with that being said, 2010 was the last time we started chapter 1, Jupiter conjunct Aries. From 2010, every year, Sun Taurus 2011, Sun Jupiter Gemini 2012. We finished that first book 2022, Sun Jupiter Pisces. Okay, then 2023, we activated chapter 1 again. This was the sequel to the last evolution book we wrapped up 2010 to 2022. And now we're going to go forward from 2023 to 2045. Okay, no, 2035. 2023 to 2035. And we just finished chapter 1 of that new book from 2023 in March to now May of 2024 here. And you're going to really feel people punch their fist in the air when certain people try and demoralize you, and that only makes you stronger, and you have value to show for it, even at least to yourself. Now you're getting ready with this next chapter to apply that value, as we'll set up chapter 3, where we will communicate and truth blast the bejesus of anyone who needs to get murked with the truth. Because this is not a fucking game at all. So we're activating a peak Sun, Jupiter, Taurus, that once the Sun is in Virgo, squaring Jupiter and Gemini, these seeds we planted right now in the magic beanstalk, it's going to grow through the ground. And then once the Sun is in Sagittarius, opposite Jupiter and Gemini, we have completed and reached the climax of chapter 2. That's the next 3 to 6 months ahead. So really keep in mind, okay, I want you to watch Law of Assumption videos. What's good? I'm recording my horoscope.
Oh, okay.
Shout out the Peace Dealer. That's my YouTube channel.
Oh, I'm looking at it.
Appreciate you. It's like Drug Dealer, but peace, love, and harmony. All right, that's what I'm talking about. You're sowing those seeds. You're connected just by me being myself and doing what I'm doing. I just made another connection. This is the type of attraction, like attracting, like that we're creating here, okay? And the seeds you're sowing are going to grow exaggeratedly because Uranus on Venus is an ancient twin flame connection. I know some of y'all don't believe in that whole twin flame shit, but just for the purpose of storytelling, Uranus and Venus are going to represent this unconventional establishment that could seem unpredictable as far as relationships just spurring. But because Venus is making 90-degree angle with Pluto and Aquarius, it's growing the seeds of that extreme supernatural awakening, which will make this now accelerate the quality of how supernatural, psychic, unique, and I'm not sugarcoating, supernatural your connections are with people. Of course, if you're a shallow piece of shit, you're going to attract that. But if you have depth, you're now starting to see a tangible material base for everything you've been working for, especially the last book. Everything, mind you, the last 12 chapter book was the realization of your identity. Now this next 12 chapter book is the manifestation and expression of you based on this identity and values. And that's where shit really gets fun, okay? So with Uranus on Venus, don't only just expect the unexpected, windfalls of income. This is a new cycle. When Venus is in Leo square Uranus in Taurus, it will break through the ground. And when Venus is in Scorpio, opposite Uranus and Taurus, we will have harvested it. We'll come back around and do it again next year. And it'll be the last time we do it in Taurus. 2026, we'll start doing it in Gemini. So this is exciting. We have these Taurus cycles we're just starting. At the same time, Mars is on the North Node in Aries, 13 degrees. We're officially activating the North Node Destiny mission. You are meant to take original actions. You are unlocking your power. So with the Moon in Libra on the South Node, this is the balance and integration of your natural worth that the Moon in Virgo helped you integrate your market value to. Because you realize that someone is willing to pay you $300 for your shoes that you believe is worth 50. Now it's time to present that in Libra and establish this. The Moon in Libra and the 180-degree opposition between Mars on the nodes is balancing your footing so the actions you take on this mission properly reflect exactly how it's supposed to be expressed with and towards others. Without this level of balance, you would have acted on your mission and probably taken a wrong direction, maybe a few degrees off. This is going to make sure it is perfectly balanced. You couldn't ask for a greater blessing than this, especially considering how powerful this is going to set itself off and then set up the moon in Scorpio and then the full moon in Sagittarius. The final days of this Taurus season are the most important because it's bringing to a full realization the totality of your worth currently right now that you will now over the next few months move forward with. And just keep in mind that you have just cracked open the page to a new chapter of this 12 chapter book, baby. Where is Taurus in your chart? For example, for me, Taurus is my first house. So even though this is the second chapter, this is my first chapter, okay? If you're Gemini rising, this is your 12th chapter before next year you start the first chapter and progress as well. And this should be very exciting because the end of chapter 1 fully unlocked the realization of who you are relative to continuing the sequel of the last book of discovering what that is. And it ended with you unlocking your power. Imagine you're reading a book and that first chapter ends with, oh, this is who I am and I have this unique power. Now, chapter 2, it's time to use it. It's time to really step into it and make it tangible. And that's going to lead into Jupiter and Gemini where we have a montage practice scene and all that bullshit. So, or awesome shit, really. It's not bullshit at all. So with that being said, don't renege on your value because people talk about this and that. This is going to reward those who stand on it and they're not fickle and want other people's approval so they change their mind willy-nilly. Just pick something you like about yourself and stick to it. That's how I know what to say, that you're willing to work on and invest because Jupiter, Sun, Venus, Uranus is rewarding those of you who patiently invest in your value through projects, relationships. You will see these seeds you're making today. You will see the direction you're deciding to take today multiply exponentially. Really great period to express this romantically in unconventional ways towards people you want to be with, especially if that is yourself. All right, this works if you're single. The whole Fool card Uranian element is now adding more unconventionality and innovating the natural values with which you personally love within platonic romantic partnerships. This is more about interpersonal relationship relative to the individuality of your values and money, lots of fucking money. So people can call you names. People can get angry at how you believe in certain things or act off certain things, but their actions will reflect that they don't even believe in what they're saying because they're still going to project where if it was really that serious, they'd let it go, but they're weak, stupid little bitches. So they need you in order to confirm and basically make them feel whatever, and you're going to see them continue to deteriorate because they never stood on a firm foundation. So with this moon in Libra, really bask in how much you've grown because this is setting up the full moon. The seeds are going through the ground. You're going to understand what power you are unlocking and how it integrates into the value you will make tangible. And with this new chapter, it is adding an element of instant manifestation that gives you quick results. I can say this as practicing the law of assumption and just continuing to say money flows to me naturally easily has generated results. And not because I'm looking for money to receive. It's a facet of my mindset that I am putting in work to reinforce in my behavior. And, you know, that's what makes a magician. An electrician is a mechanic of electricity, okay? A magician is a mechanic of a mind, the mind mechanics, the spirit technicians, right? That's basically it. And we're a whole new era and revolution of bringing that back to the forefront, whereas religion and science has, of course, demonized it and try to label it pseudoscience, but you'd have to be an idiot to believe that. So allow weak, stupid little bitches to insult you, call you names because your value intimidates them. It's only going to go up from here, and you're only going to see more of, you know, the weakness of their character, but also embrace those who have always seen your worth and value. It's time to build with them on a level that you may have never thought possible. I really want you to enjoy this. Welcome once again to chapter 2. And if they couldn't stop you the previous chapters, I don't think they're going to stop you now. In fact, this might be the time when you end them but it's not about them versus us. We fight not against flesh and blood. Y'all stay blessed as always.